Hello, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm doing a couple of new videos today. Some of the information I've taken from a fantastic website, which you may or may not know about, called jwfacts.com. And I want to specifically deal with lots of different individual subjects that the Jehovah's Witnesses have got wrong, do wrong, or just wrong about. And this one is, I'm going to entitle this video, Women, Emancipate Yourself. Sisters, Emancipate Yourself particularly. Okay? The Jehovah's Witnesses have always had a very old-fashioned view of women, very submissive view of women. Think 50 Shades of Grey with a dose of 1950s Leave It to Beaver, and that's kind of where you're at, okay? How do the Jehovah's Witnesses view women? Well, I'm going to give you some selected quotes about the Jehovah's Witnesses and what they say regarding women and submission, and specifically some of their crazier stuff as we go back into the past, okay? So, Watchtower 2012 talks about women and submission, particularly here. Selma recalls a lesson she learned from the witnesses who studied with her. On one particular day, says Selma, I didn't want to have a Bible study. Steve, her husband, had hit me, and I had tried to prove a point, and I was feeling sad and sorry for myself after you'd been assaulted. Yes, people do feel like that. I did when I was assaulted. I told the sister what had happened and how I felt, and she read to me 1 Corinthians 13, 4 verses 7. And I said, and as I did, I began to reason. Steve never does any of these loving things for me. But the sister made me think differently by saying, how many of those acts of love did you show towards your husband? The answer was, none, for he is so difficult to live with. Yes, violent bullies will be. Realizing I needed to adjust my thinking, I prayed to Jehovah to help me be more loving towards Steve. Maybe you could pray to Jehovah to get the phone number for the police for the man who assaulted you. Kingdom Ministry 2015 March. When a sister must conduct the Bible studies, she must wear a head covering. March 2011. Let wives be in subjection as to their husband as to the Lord, rather than manifesting the attitude of disobedience and independence that characterizes the world. She is in submission to her mate. A wife who is foolish does not hesitate to speak unfavorably of her husband. Such a wife is careful not to undermine her husband's headship by nagging or arguing with him. I quite like that bit, but no, I don't. It's not good. Okay? A foolish woman likely squanders her hard-earned resources. A supportive wife is not like that. Guys! Women! Are you a Jehovah's Witness listening to this? Watchtower 2008. Before studying the Bible, I didn't think my husband ought to be head of the family. I like to make many decisions on my own. However, I gradually found that applying Bible principles contributed to the peace and happiness of our family. Slowly it became easier for me to be submissive, and my husband has noticed these changes in me. Our Kingdom Ministry of 2000, we're getting back to when I was giving up the witnesses at this point. Occasionally at meetings for field service, it might be necessary for a baptized sister to offer prayer. She would need to wear an appropriate head covering. That's right, because you need your details, ladies. Why, look kind of alien like that, don't they? Get your details on! Oh, good Lord in heaven, right? You'll also notice the Jehovah's Witnesses, if I'm looking through the pictures here and they show you how the Jehovah's Witness sisters are all dressed. They're all dressed a bit like your woman from Bewitched, you know? You have to have that 1950s sort of style because men like you to look good but not to show too much leg, okay? That's important. The 2008 Awake covers the topic violence against women. What is the Bible's view? While speaking against such violence, it then concludes with the subject headship in marriage, explaining why women must be submissive to their husbands. Yeah, because you don't want to backhand her, girls. I've never done that. I don't even know how. I wouldn't have the balls. My wife would kick my ass. It refers to the Old Testament examples where women were treated as a husband's collateral, a concept that is the heart of dominance and mistreatment of women over the centuries. Isn't that the case? Okay? So much to answer. The following, this is the one I really wanted to read you, is a public talk given by Samuel Hurd, who later went on to become a member of the governing body. He did this apparently in California in 1971. This is one of the leaders of the Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, scientists say that the cranial capacity of a woman is 10% smaller than that of a man. So now this shows that she's just not equipped for the role of headship. Her role is one of subjection to the man. Her role is that of submissiveness, and that means that she should recognize she's a woman and be glad to be a woman. Never want to be what you're not equipped to be. Like the leader of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Sometimes we hear her say, oh, if I were a man, I'd do this and I'd do that, as if wishing to be something that she's not designed to be. Do you know what that borders on? That borders on homosexuality. And do you know what the devil is doing nowadays? He's taking women who want to be men and he makes men out of them. Now that's Samuel Hurd, who's an African American bloke. Now if you watch my last video, you'll know why Samuel Hurd shouldn't be a Jehovah's Witness either, because the Jehovah's Witnesses have a chronic history of racism. Now I'm going to finish this video because it's quite a quickie, but I want to tell women what the Jehovah's Witnesses at their beginning. This isn't, well, not even their beginning. This is the golden age in 1930. So Jesus sifted the religions of the world now 11 years before this. What kind of wisdom had God given his chosen people? Let's find out. Question: will husbands and wives live together after the resurrection is completed if both are in harmony with God? Answer: the scriptures do not reveal what the relationship of men and women will be after the resurrection is completed. That most that we know of is that there will be no children born during that last 100 years of the millennium, nor any born after that, because men and women do not have children after they reach the age of 100 years. Whether the identity of the sexes as such is preserved, we do not know. There have been some well-authenticated instances in which women have been transformed into men, and it is possible that this transformation may become general, and we shall all be brothers together. So ladies, if your husband beats you, you deserve it and you talked it back, okay? If you want to have any power in the congregation, you're a homosexual. And don't worry about it anyway, because in the new system, you're going to grow a dick. Women, emancipate yourselves now. Get out of the Jehovah's Witnesses and start a life with some self-respect and dignity. And thank you for watching this video.